Arturo Varvelli. He is a senior policy fellow over at the European Council on Foreign Affairs. Good to have you on the show, sir. Put this into context for us. So the Libyan conflict has really become a proxy war for fighters from several countries now involved. What type of problems does the use of mercenaries present when it comes to sort of trying to bring stability to the country?
So it's clear that Turkey's arrival in Libya in support of the GNA changed the game. So Turkish military support has driven the GNA to some important victories that have effectively killed off Khalifa Haftar's hopes of conquering Tripoli, while creating significant fractures within his camp. So Russia, for example, seems more open to a diplomatic solution, and it's withdrawing the Wagner group's forces from Tripolitania is a symptom of this political line. In my view, Russia's ambition is to be part of the game, not to be the winner of a long war. And much will now depend on the response from the Gulf countries, in particular Emirates, and after other key external bakers, Egypt, another power involved in the crisis, which have continued to increase their mercenary deployments and arms shipments in an effort to check the Turkish power in Libya. The risk is that after response could be even more violent, and this will be very dangerous for Europe and for the entire Mediterranean stability.
Okay. You briefly talked about sort of the Russian motive. I'm wondering if you could sort of give us an analysis or an insight onto what the European approach to this, because after the Berlin conference in January, the call by Germany's Chancellor Angela Merkel was to get everyone on the same page, but also at the same time sort of push a stronger European agenda in Libya, perhaps trying to get in between Russia and the Turkish initiative. But can we really say that there was actually a joint European agenda on the table where all European sides are acting with a common interest in Libya?
Oh, this is a good question. It's very difficult to reply because in reality there is one position, but in the facts there are many positions. For example, we know that Italy and France were divided on the politics towards Libya. I think that with the COVID crisis, Europe is now focused on major health and domestic problem and economic problem. Then is more focused on that than Libya crisis, external borders problems. But Europe have to play an important role. If for Italy, for example, Italy must abandon ambiguity and the non-action line to move towards, this is my view, towards an active neutrality line. In my view, it was wrong not to support the United Nations and the GNA sufficiently in Libya. The position of Italy, the current position of Italy is one of maintaining equidistance from the two antagonists of the Libyan crisis, Haftar and Sarraj, but this has not helped it meet its strategic goal from managing migration flow to assessing energy markets. So Italy was one of the main supporters of the creation of the GNA in 2015. But when it began to think that Haftar could take the whole country, Rome then shifted from fully supporting the GNA to trying to get closer to Haftar. And this is the mistake of the whole Europe, in my view.
Okay, I mean, Arturo, this migration flow is an angle that often gets sort of lost in the talk because a lot of countries are sort of perhaps maybe out there to secure its national interests, energy interests. I mean, there are certain dynamics in the conflict that are of more concern to Italy than other European countries, like the migration situation. How is Italy going to manage this?
We are trying to work within Irini, but I think that Irini mission is very limited effective because we need to give new and effective routes to Iranian mission. For example, it's clear that Iran will remain very ineffective if this military operation operates only in the Mediterranean part near Cyrenaica. And the main preoccupation of Italy is a sort of pull factor on migration by the Iranian mission, but this is not true. We know that migration are a more broader problem. Is not a problem limited to the Mediterranean. So I think that Europe should try to stop the continued military interferences in the Europe backyard. We need to be more proactive, for example, in denouncing the constant violation by all the international actors involved in the crisis. And this could help try to stabilize Libya and then have a limited migration to Europe, to Italy, through the Mediterranean.
Arturo.
It's long term.
Okay, I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there, but Arturo Varvelli, thank you very much for joining us here on TR2. I do appreciate your analysis. Some important stuff said there. Thank you.